Well, we're on our last day of AFA. It's day 3. I'm Ferran, managing editor of Breaking Defense. I'm here with our editor-in-chief, Aaron Mehta. And Aaron, it's been a slower show than normal, a bit unusual. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's two reasons. It's politics and programs. The first thing is politics. Look, we're 2 months out from the election right now. Nobody's going to announce new plans and programs because nobody knows who's going to be running the Air Force. We talked about this throughout the week, the fact that politics was probably going to play a role in here. You're not going to hear Air Force people talking about the election or anything, but it was kind of, frankly, choking everything because Lord knows if, Frank Kendall put something up right now, it could create a clay pigeon to be shot down by, a new Trump administration. Even if Harris wins, we don't know if same Air Force people are going to stay. That kind of just cast frankly, as a muzzle over kind of everything the whole week.
Yeah, and also like a lot of the major programs the Air Force is pursuing right now either have their own issues or they're not developments going on right now. What are some of those that we're looking at, paying attention to?
Yeah, I mean, look, you've got Sentinel, which is the ICBM program. That's got a Null-McCurdy cost breach 81% over budget right now.
Huge, yeah.
So that's an issue. You've got NGAD, which is the Next Generation Fighter, which a lot of us expected this would actually be a show that talked a lot about NGAD.
Yeah.
But then over the summer, Frank Kendall, the Air Force Secretary, came out and said basically, yeah, we got to pump the brakes and rethink this everything. And the way he's talked about it, the little bit he's talked about it, it's a pretty clear it's a full rethink.
Yeah, I mean, even here, he was asking new questions that I would have thought would have been addressed months earlier in the process.
Yeah.
Like, as to they're not completely 100% sure if it's going to have a pilot. I mean, it's certainly he's making it sound like he thinks they will, but it's not set in stone.
Yeah, there's enough questions there between things he said over the summer and then things he hinted at today to show you there's questions they're still trying to sort out, which means that program's not ready for prime time anytime soon. You saw even B-21, the bomber program, which by all accounts is going pretty well. They put out a video of it flying. It's look, it's video of the first flight, and that's cool. It's cool to see the thing flying, but that was all the news they could talk about because it's a classified program and they're just doing flight tests. So there just wasn't a lot program-wise to really be able to dig into, and that was reflected pretty clearly in the discussions here.
Yeah, well, and we often do this with our reporters. We'll say, like, if you had to write a story about X event, what would it be? In this case, it's got to be CCAs.
Yeah, CCA, the Loyal Wingman drone. That's something that, again, we've talked about throughout the week with these videos and previewing it. And look, you had the models of the two CCA versions on the floor, maybe full size, we think, right? Largely full size, let's say, on the show floor. You did hear a lot about the program and kind of how it could be used, but even then it was top level stuff. We didn't hear anything about international collaboration. We didn't hear anything really about autonomy. We know there's an autonomy contest out there. We don't know the status of that. We got some cool pictures of the CCAs being signed by various Air Force leaders, and that's great. And it was a great show. But again, just in terms of news, just not that much. I think the big takeaway, honestly, on CCA is this is a program the Air Force is very committed to. Of its big modernization programs that are going on right now, the high-tech ones, you could argue it's the one that they're most committed to at this point. And I think that's having the impact on things like NGAD in terms of, as they rethink it, they're maybe taking it a little more of, okay, how can CCC change on what we're thinking about on that?
But that's not to say there was no news. I mean, you put a Breaking Defense team on the ground, we're going to find some news.
Yeah, I think we published something like 25 stories over the last couple of days.
About artificial intelligence, about cybersecurity, about space, about China, about Ukraine. It's all on breakingdefense.com. And just because the show's over, that actually doesn't mean our coverage is. We'll have more stuff coming out the rest of the week. And go to breakingdefense.com every day to get the latest in defense news. Thanks for watching.